Looking to take control of your self-care? Join us on October 19th for the official launch of the Enjoyno, Nurturing Authentic Living, created by myself, Dr. Enjoy. From 2 to 4 p.m. at Studio House Atlanta, experience a wellness event with self-care tips, interactive booths, and a chance to get your Enjoyno signed by me. Start your journey to joy and balance. Don't miss this event. See you on October 19th from 2 to 4 at Studio House Atlanta. Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and joy while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. Enjoy, and today I bring to you episode 67, Resilience Revamp, Sharpening Skills to Thrive Under Pressure. So we are in our 6th episode of the Inspired Joy series, number 67. And that means we've already gone through the INSPI, our 5 crucial health areas: integrity, nurture, stability, purpose, and intimacy. So the 5 crucial health areas, of course, cover mental health, physical health, financial health, your aspirational health, and then your social health, because all of that is important in order for us to maintain our balance and joy. So the R and the E in the inspire is the resilience and empowerment. And I call that your core foundations, because although we need to focus on our 5 crucial health areas, we do need to have these core foundations that just go through every aspect of our veins and our minds and our life: resilience and empowerment. Because without resilience and without empowerment, you are not able to get through the stress, challenges, and trauma and all those things that life brings at us. So today, resilience revamp. We're going to revamp our resilience. How can we do that? So when you think about resilience, there's a lot of ways to think about it. It's I'm thinking about, the bounce back, right? Being able to fall and get back up. Sometimes you can think of like a rubber band. A rubber band is something that can be stretched and stretched and stretched, but it does not break. Resilience can kind of copy that, right? You get stretched thin. There's all kinds of things that you are focused on or going through, and no matter what, you don't break. And sometimes you need that setback in order to have that breakthrough, but you're not actually being broken through when it comes to this real resilience. So when you think of a rubber band, that's one example. But exercise is really like the biggest example that I love to share. So think about it. When you work out, you at the gym, and you want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle, especially if you want to gain muscle, you are going to use your weights, right? And when you gather some weights, are you getting 0 weights? Are you getting a 1 pounder, a 2 pounder? I mean, maybe some people are starting out with a 1 or a 2 pounder or a 5 pounder. And if you are starting out with that, that means that is what you can handle. That is a resistance that is going to get you stronger. Some people might start out with a 10 pounder, and it also depends on what muscle you're working on. Legs are stronger than our arms. So you might do a 30 or 50 pounder, depending on who you are, or a 20 pounder. Or for arms, you might do, especially those arm raises. Arm raises, I need to do like a 5 pounder, or no, 10 actually. I did that today. I was able to do 10. My point is that you would do a lighter weight from upper body and then a heavier weight for your lower body. You're doing a weight, right? You're not lifting feathers. Because if you lift feathers or you lift air, you're less likely to gain that muscle. You're less likely to have those muscle cells, those muscle groups grow from that strain. And when muscles are actually literally building up and growing, they're actually breaking down at the same time. That is literally what's happening. Your muscles are literally being injured. That's why you feel that pain the next day when you are building muscle strength. So the muscle is going through some breaking down, it's going through some hurt, it's going through some pain, it's going through a lot of resistance and challenges in order to what? Get stronger. And today, no, it wasn't today, it was yesterday, I actually did a push up off of my knees for the first time. I used to do those all the time. I used to do pull ups, push ups, all those things off my knees. But then, of course, like through babies and gaining weight and all that, and ever since my weight gain in the past year, I've been only doing push ups on my knees because I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. So yesterday I said, okay, let me do the push-ups off my knees. Let me do that, my full strength. And I was able to do it. And I was so excited. I was so giddy. I said, oh, I did real push-ups, 12 real push-ups, because it showed that throughout all my push-ups on my knees and all these boot camps and weights that I've been lifting, I'm finally getting stronger. So all that hard work of those push-ups, I don't like push-ups, has been paying off. So, how that relates to resilience, how that relates to life. Life is the same way. We've got to learn to train our minds, our mental muscle, the same way we train our physical muscles. It's just as important. You're willing to go to the gym and lift all those heavy weights. We need to be willing to go out in life and lift those stressors, lift those challenges, lift those traumas. I mean, we're not looking for trauma, but when we train our mind to think of challenges as something that's going to help us grow, we're approaching it differently. So that's definitely important to be able to train your mind so that it's not something that, oh, this is just going to knock me down. Because the same with exercise. If you approach an exercise like, oh, this is just going to defeat me, this is just going to knock me down, I can't do this, then no, you won't be able to do it. And usually you're approaching that with, oh yeah, this is going to be hard. I want it to be hard so that I can be able to grow and gain my physical muscles. So when it comes to life and challenges, don't you want that to be hard so you can grow? We have to approach our challenges as something that's going to help us grow and become stronger and become wiser. Running, 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 running. I'm always talking about running. I think that's the answer to all of Inspire. I mean, running definitely gets you mentally healthy, right? I talk about it all the time. It clears my mind. It's the best meditation. It's the best way to ground yourself, get out of your head. I plan things when I'm running. I'm happy and it just feels good. It's the best self-care. It covers physical health. It obviously helps with heart strength, muscle strength, all kinds of things, getting your blood running, oxygen to all of your organs, and you're becoming stronger when you run. So it covers that physical. And I joke about the financial health that technically running helps with that because it's the most expensive free sport. So it's definitely going to help you budget because getting those best shoes and that workout, those workout clothes that you need and signing up for them races, you got to be able to budget yourself. And of course, through aspirations, running helps you choose different goals and things like that. Like my behind wants to run 100 half marathons, and that is a goal, and it keeps me going, and it helps with my physical purpose, my health goals, all kinds of things. And of course, running, there's a running community. It's huge. I've met amazing friends through running. So I feel like running just checks all the boxes in Inspire. And of course, it checks the box of resilience. That's why I'm bringing up running today on the Resilience Revamp. There's nothing like running that just gets you resilient. I just ran my 33rd half a few days ago, and it's endurance. You literally have to push yourself every second, one step at a time, thinking about your breathing, thinking about your steps, thinking about, oh, did I make sure I ate enough or didn't eat? So do I need to hydrate? What kinds of nutrition I need? And like just 13 miles. And I've run full marathons And like 26 miles, like that is like the epitome of resilience and pushing your body beyond something that, not that it's not meant to do, but just pushing yourself to do things despite every second you want to stop. And so when you relay that to life and the challenges of life, life isn't easy. Life is work. I talk about joy being work. I don't say that to make it seem hard, like, oh my goodness, challenges are supposed to be hard. Let me just deal with this. Let me just, oh, this is woe is me. I can't ever do this because it's so hard. No, that's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to say, if you change your mindset in the way that you think about approaching challenges and stressors, it definitely helps you get through it. Like, hey, attack that challenge is like, oh, yeah, here we go. This is how I'm going to grow. This is how I'm going to get stronger. My favorite quote throughout life is a quote from A League of Their Own baseball movie. Yay, let's go Mets, let's go Tigers. Woohoo. Anyhow, he said, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It's the hard that makes it great. And that anytime I've entered failure or entered challenges or any type of stressors, I'm just like, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. If you tell yourself that it's supposed to be easy or why me? Why am I facing this thing? Why am I failing? How's that going to get you through it? But if you tell yourself, oh, it's supposed to be hard. Oh, okay. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It's the hard that makes it great. So let me be that person that's going to do that thing that not everybody else is doing. That's one thing that makes you unique. You're doing that thing and you're facing those challenges despite it being hard. And on the end, you're growing through it and becoming stronger from that. And the challenges that I've gotten, whether it's physical or mental, marital challenges, parenting challenges, life challenges, career challenges, I've grown so much. And just looking back, I'm just like thankful for the challenges, because if you don't go through those things that are meant to be that resistance, you don't grow stronger. Just like with exercise, how do you possibly go stronger without facing that resistance? Everything starts with our minds. Our minds is so important to change your mind and to change your perspective about the way that you see a challenge or that you see something that's hard. And for trauma, you can have resilience too with trauma. Trauma is not something that you want to have. Trauma is not something that you made happen to you, and it's not your fault. I've met many different people. Not everyone who goes through abuse has a mental illness. Not everyone who goes through abuse ends up, not with a successful career. I've seen people with successful careers. I've seen people who have been abused become doctors and be mentally healthy. I've seen people that have been abused who go through life not being able to go to school and not being able to get past the trauma and having bipolar and having severe mental illness. And literally the difference between the two that stands out is resilience, resilience, resilience. And that is not something that you only are born with. You can strengthen your resilience. You can grow in your resilience. So you can't say like, oh, well, that's because they're more resilient than me. No, you can be resilient too. And it all starts with the mind. Exercise strengthens our physical muscles, and resilience strengthens our mental muscles. So we have to work on our mental muscles. So you're not going to be lifting weights with your brain, but the way to gain your mental muscles is to be able to change the way you think. Reframe your mind. Think about the challenge as something good. Think about the trauma as something you can grow from. It is awful that that trauma happened to you. It is awful that you were abused. It is awful that you've been neglected. It's awful that you've been financially strained, that you grew into a family where there's been vicious cycles. You can break that cycle. you can say, hey, I'm going to be the person that does not let this happen to my family because I'm going to break this generational cycle, this generational curse, this thing that keeps happening perpetually by thinking positively, by reframing your thoughts, changing your thoughts from negative thoughts to positive thoughts, by controlling and regulating your emotions, breaking every chain. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Exactly. You can do that. You can do that. And it's a wonder why I went through the 5 crucial areas before going to resilience. When you look through the Enjoino, you have to get through all of those in order to get through your resilience. So you have to learn how to turn your negative thoughts into positive thoughts and to turn your negative emotions into positive emotions and being able to regulate those in order to get to the point where, yes, I'm empowered. I have resilience. And just think about that. I just started reframing my mind again. Like, I feel like it's a constant thing every day, and just recently, just lately in the last couple weeks, just being more calculated with the things that I say and the things that I do. And, sometimes we can just say whatever without thinking. So we need to do that. We need to take a step back and really change the way we think, because that helps our relationships. When we can be more patient and more calculated by what we say as opposed to saying exactly what comes to mind. And the same thing with our thoughts, not keeping a thought just because that thought automatically came to your mind. And so if you can get on top and get in control, because you have control, take control of your thoughts, that helps you tell yourself, I got this. I could do this. I can beat this trauma. I can get through this challenge. I can get through what's going on. I lost my job, but I will find another job. Hey, this closed door means another door is going to open. So those are the positive affirmations that you use in order to get through particular challenges. So that is completely important. And of course, in the Enjoino, resilience. So that is important. I love showing off the cover of each chapter. They're so beautiful with people, relatable people. Yeah. So once you get to the resilience chapter, it takes you through different worksheets and different prompts. And I've been hearing a lot of great feedback about the Enjoinal being so helpful for people for each section. So I'm hoping that you grab your Enjoinal and that it is helpful to you too. But in the resilience chapter, it invites you to reflect on resilient moments. Because a lot of time we feel like, when have I been resilient? I don't think I've ever been resilient. You tell yourself that. Those are some negative thoughts that you tell yourself, like, I've never been resilient. I can't bounce back from traumas. Those are those negative thoughts. And when I'm speaking to patients, I try to focus more on resilience. I try to focus on positive affirmations and positivity and gratitude, as opposed to like, oh, so how has your depression been? How long have you been depressed? Tell me about some depressive moments in the past month. What's that got them doing? Thinking about depressive moments. But when I ask, well, tell me about some time in the past month where you felt resilient. And they're like, oh, they're not used to thinking of that. So we have to get used to thinking about, well, what are the times this past month where I've been resilient? What are some times this past month when I practiced gratitude? What are some times in the past month when I felt empowered to do those things? So this Enjoino, it teaches you to reflect on resilient moments. Reflect on a time when you overcame a significant challenge. What strengths did you draw on to get through it? So not only is it making you think about a time that you've been resilient, because there are some times you've been resilient, but what strengths that you draw on to get through it. So start to create your resilience care package, because challenges are going to come. It's going to come again. You're going to go through something again. And what do you need in order to get through that? Is it the positive thoughts? Is it the grounding? Is it the meditation? Is it going for a run? Is it taking a break? Is it getting a massage? Is it journaling? Is it dancing? Is it listening to music? Is it just closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths? What are some things that get you through that? Is it time management? Is it prioritizing one thing over the other? Is it saying no? And so it's definitely important to be ready for what you need to use? What are your coping strategies? Analyze your coping strategies. What are your go-to coping strategies when you face a challenge? And then learning from failure. The last time you had a failure, what did you learn from it? Think of a failure or setback you experienced. What lessons did you learn, and how has it contributed to your growth? Failure teaches things. You cannot be successful without failure. The only way to even be resilient is because of a failure. The definition of resiliency means you once failed. Because how are you going to be resilient if there's not something you're going through? Again, how can you gain muscle if you're not lifting weights? How can you cross the finish line without enduring that race? Life is a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So in order to get to the finish line, in order to get to that success, in order to get that prize, that medal, that trophy, that A, you got to go through the work. You got to go through the challenge. There's bumps in the road. You might fall. You might get dehydrated and need some water. You might need to put back your weight. Maybe you can't do that 15-pound weight today. Maybe you do the 10-pound. Maybe you will do just body weight. But whatever it is that you need to cut back, that's okay. But you will still get to the end. And so it's a matter of pushing through it. But the way to have resilience, can't say it enough, is to change your mind. Visualize resilience. Imagine facing a future challenge. So now you're thinking about when you've been resilient in the past, right? And so now it's, well, what happens when I'm resilient in the future? What am I going to do? Visualize that future challenge that's going to come. Visualize yourself handling it with resilience. What does that look like? You being resilient, you getting through the challenge. And what are you growing from that? What actions and thoughts characterize your resilient response? So thinking about where you've been resilient in the past, what were your go-to strategies? What did you learn from it? And then visualizing the future and what are your thoughts and actions, taking from what you used to do or what you did do in the past, and then moving forward with how you will face that next challenge. Because challenge is going to come. Shift to a growth mindset, knowing that challenges are for growth. It's for growth. It's only to help you. And then there's two more, but you got to buy the Enjoyno to get to that. So this day is Mental Illness Awareness Week. And today is actually World Mental Health Day. Many, many people go through mental illness. About 1 in 5 people experience mental illnesses. Only about 53% of people get treatment. We need to make sure we are knowing the signs that we need help, knowing the signs that someone else needs help, being able to recognize that and seek help for yourself, seek help for others, because a lot of times our resilience kind of reaches a wall where we can't be resilient on our own and where you need to reach out for help. Who is that person where you're able to be vulnerable, to be able to reach out for help? Do you need therapy? Do you need a professional to help you regain your resilience and get through what's going on? When you visualize in the future, visualize or think about something that you went through and you're resilient in the past, what was lacking? What do you wish you had when you did experience that trauma? We got to reflect. We got to think about our life, think about our minds in order to grow mentally. Where's your mental muscle at? Do you want to grow your mental muscle? Do you want to be ready the next time you have a challenge? Unlock your path to less stress and more joy. Choose joy. You can choose joy. The How of Happiness, that author says that we have control over at least 40% of our happiness. 40%. That's actually a lot. Because when you think of like, well, what's the other 60%? 50% of that 60% is like a genetic set point. Like all of us like automatically go back to a certain level of happiness. So that's 50%. Maybe we don't have control. Maybe, it can change through life. But what's that last 10%? Life circumstances. We're always waiting for a certain life circumstance to happen in order, like, oh, that's going to make me happy. When I get married, I'll be happy. When I have kids, I'll be happy. When I get that job, I'll be happy. No, that's just 10% of your happiness, 10% of your joy. So now let's go back to that 40%. That sounds like a lot now. That 40% is how you think and what you do. So what are you going to do? Are you going to choose joy? Are you going to change the way you think? You are in control to build your resilience and to maintain your joy despite what's going on. Stress is going to happen. What's the point of joy if there's no sadness? What's the point of joy if there's no pain? What's the point of joy if there's no anger or if there is no anxiety or things to worry about or loss or grief? Why even have joy if that doesn't exist? It's going to exist. But knowing that you can choose joy and have joy, that's the best choice ever. Do it and get it. And if you don't know how, hey, comment, reach out to me, reach out to a professional, reach out to a friend. Purchase your Enjoyno on Amazon, $39.08. I am having my book launch wellness events next Saturday, October 19th from 2 to 4. Actually, I'm about to extend that hour 2 to 5 at Studio House Atlanta. I'm going to have lots of vendors, B12 shots, they're free, massages, energy workers, Reiki, live performer. I'm bringing the Enjoyno to life. So I'll have a wellness experts, financial wellness experts, holistic experts, all kinds of things. So if you're in the Atlanta area, it's free. It's all free. You can buy your Enjoyno for $30 on site. You can get it signed and just have fun and fellowship. So come out, RSVP at www.drenjoylife.com/event-list. Come on out, invite somebody, have a good time. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. You can choose joy. Start now. Bye-bye. Looking to take control of your self-care? Join us on October 19th for the official launch of the Enjoyno, Nurturing Authentic Living, created by myself, Dr. Enjoy. From 2 to 4 p.m. at Studio House Atlanta, experience a wellness event with self-care tips, interactive booths, and a chance to get your Enjoyno signed by me. Start your journey to joy and balance. Don't miss this event. See you on October 19th from 2 to 4 at Studio House Atlanta.